You're listening to the Mind Manual Podcast, episode 51, Identity and the Quantum Connection.
If you want a particular result in your life, but you're unable to get it, tune in to start training your brain and expanding your emotional intelligence to unlock the most powerful and underutilized performance tool that we have. It's the most important work you could do because it affects every area of your life.
Welcome to a fascinating exploration of identity, energy, and the hidden forces that shape our lives. Today, we're diving into the work of Dr. Bruce Lipton, a pioneering cell biologist whose research challenges conventional science and offers a new perspective on consciousness and human potential. We'll explore his insights on bioelectro-magnetic energy, the idea that our identity may be more like a broadcast than a fixed physical entity, and a remarkable experiment with astronaut Brian O'Leary, a friend of Lipton's, that suggests a mysterious form of long-distance biological communication. This episode will break down complex scientific ideas into simple, eye-opening insights. So whether you're a scientist, a seeker, or just curious, there's something here for you. We'll also discuss how these ideas relate to healing, personal growth, and the future of medicine. So sit back, open your mind, and let's begin. So who is Dr. Lipton? Well, he's best known for his work in epigenetics and cellular biology. He argues that our genes don't determine our fate. Instead, our environment, our thoughts and beliefs play a key role in shaping our biology and gene expression. He started his career teaching cell biology at the University of Wisconsin's School of Medicine and later conducted research at Stanford University. But a discovery in his stem cell studies changed everything. He found that genetically identical cells could behave in completely different ways depending on their environmental signals. We've now coined this term to be epigenetics. This led him to challenge the traditional belief that genes control life and propose that cells function more like biological computers responding to information from their surroundings. His work suggests that our thoughts and emotions influence our cells, creating a powerful link between consciousness and biology. This idea laid the foundation for his research into energy fields and bioelectro-magnetic communication. Bioelectromagnetic signaling is not a new area, but our understanding and application of it is still relatively in its infancy. It's the bridge between biology and physics in understanding how biological systems communicate and interact through electromagnetic fields and waves. We already have many of our own systems using this mode of communication. Living organisms naturally produce and interact with electromagnetic fields across a broad range of frequencies. These fields help regulate essential biological functions. We have static fields that are steady electric and magnetic fields found in the body, such as those across cell membranes, or the weak magnetic fields produced by the heart and brain, which helps to maintain cell function and balance. Then there are extremely low frequency fields from 0 to 300 hertz that align with key body rhythms like brain waves, heartbeats, and sleep cycles, helping different systems stay in sync. We also have higher frequency fields, including radio waves and light, which also play a role. For example, tiny light emissions from cells called biophotons are involved in communication and regulation within the body. Overall, these bioelectromagnetic phenomena help coordinate and maintain the processes of life. Next, we take a look at the energy of identity. Are we more than our bodies? One of the most revolutionary ideas Dr. Lipton presents is the concept of self-receptors, which are tiny protein antennae on the surface of our cells that he believes receives and transmits signals unique to each individual. According to Lipton, these self-receptors are akin to a radio tuning into a specific frequency. In essence, our identity is not confined to the physical body, but rather exists as an energy broadcast. To illustrate, Lipton draws a parallel with organ transplantation. When someone receives an organ from a donor, they must take immunosuppressant drugs because the body recognizes that the organ's self-receptors are foreign. These self-receptors, he argues, define who we are, not our physical form, but our unique energy signature. Lipton suggests that our identity is not just inside our body, but rather exists as an energetic broadcast, something more like a signal than a physical thing. So when someone receives an organ from a donor, their body may reject it unless they take immunosuppressant drugs. Why? Because the body recognizes that the organ carries a different set of self-receptors, a different energetic identity. This idea moves us towards a more expansive view of ourselves, where identity is not fixed within boundaries of the body, but exists into an energetic field beyond matter. If this theory holds, then consciousness and personal identity could be non-local phenomena, meaning they exist beyond the confines of the brain and body. This suggests that who we are isn't just stored in our DNA, but also exists as an electromagnetic pattern. If this is true, it raises profound questions. Could we change our energetic broadcast through belief and intention? Could this explain experiences like intuition, spontaneous healing, or even out-of-body experiences? If identity is non-local, does consciousness exist beyond the brain and body? Lipton's research suggests that self-receptors play a role in how we interact with the energetic world around us. If we are constantly broadcasting and receiving information, then it might be possible to alter our biological responses by consciously shifting our energy. This idea connects with Eastern philosophies that have long taught that the body is a vessel for a greater energetic consciousness. Let's take a look at the Brian O'Leary experiment, which touches on this long-distance biological communication. This experiment, linked to Lipton's research, involved Dr. Brian O'Leary, a former NASA astronaut and scientist who participated in experiments led by Cleve Baxter, a polygraph expert known for his research into biocommunication. In these experiments, Baxter investigated how human cells, specifically white blood cells called leukocytes, might respond to the donor's emotional states even when separated from the body. Dr. O'Leary provided a sample of his white blood cells in San Diego before traveling approximately 300 miles to Phoenix. And throughout his journey, he documented events that elicited emotional responses, noting the exact times they occurred. Baxter's observations indicated that the isolated cells exhibited electrical reactions corresponding to Dr. O'Leary's emotional experiences, suggesting a form of distant cellular communication. These findings are discussed in various sources, including the interview with Cleve Baxter in The Sun magazine. It suggests that biological systems may communicate beyond physical space, challenging our current understanding of biology. Some possible explanations are that of quantum entanglement. Just like entangled particles in physics remain connected no matter what the distance, could our biological structures maintain similar entangled connections? Another is morphogenetic field hypothesis, where Rupert Sheldrake proposes that organisms share invisible energetic fields that carry information, which sounds very much like the whole area of bioelectromagnetic communication, where cells transmit and receive electromagnetic signals, acting as a biological communication network. Bioelectromagnetic signaling, a fundamental aspect of biological systems, has gained increasing attention in recent years. A review by Wang and others from the Medical College of Soochow University in 2024 synthesized current knowledge and recent advancements in bioelectromagnetic research, covering principles, evidence, and emerging applications. They discuss the generation, the transmission, and reception of bioelectromagnetic fields in living organisms, focusing on intercellular and organism-level communication. In the realm of magnetoreception, some organisms have evolved specialized structures containing magnetite crystals. These tiny biological compasses align with external magnetic fields, providing a mechanism for detecting and responding to the Earth's magnetic field. This remarkable ability aids in navigation and spatial orientation for a diverse range of species, from bacteria to birds. Studies have demonstrated that cells can communicate over long distances through the generation and reception of electromagnetic signals. Some theories in the field of bioenergetics propose that electromagnetic fields may also facilitate energy transfer within biological systems, potentially influencing metabolic processes. Scholkman and others observed a phenomenon in mitotic synchrony in cell structures, demonstrating that physically separated cell populations can synchronize their division cycles through electromagnetic interactions. This synchronization persists even when chemical communication is blocked, suggesting a direct electromagnetic mechanism. These discoveries also aligns with the research showing that the human heart generates a powerful electromagnetic field that can influence other people's heart rhythms. Brain waves can synchronize between individuals, even from a distance. And as I mentioned before, certain animals like birds and bees navigate using the Earth's electromagnetic fields. So if humans can also use this kind of invisible communication, what does this mean for human connection, healing, and consciousness? One of the most profound insights from Lipton's work is that our emotions, which I like to describe as energy in motion, have a direct physiological impact on our cells. We already know that emotions generate biochemical responses that influence our entire system throughout the body. For example, when we experience stress, our bodies release cortisol and adrenaline, which prepares us for fight or flight. However, prolonged exposure to these stress hormones can weaken our immune system, disrupt digestion, and even alter genetic expression. On the other hand, positive emotions such as love, gratitude, joy trigger the release of beneficial neurochemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, promoting a healing and cellular rejuvenation. Lipton suggests that the electromagnetic energy of emotions extends beyond the nervous system and into our cellular environment. And since cells respond to energetic frequencies, our habitual emotional states shapes not only our mental well-being, but also our physical health. This concept aligns with the research in psychoneuroimmunology, which examines how psychological factors influence immune function. It also sheds light on why practices like meditation, breath work, and energy healing can lead to tangible improvements in health. By consciously shifting our emotional state, we can literally reprogram our biology. Dr. Lipton expands on this concept in his book, The Biology of Belief, which takes it back a step further to explore how our beliefs, which are really embedded thoughts, is what creates our feelings or emotions. He looks at the science behind the placebo and nocebo effects, how the placebo effect demonstrates how positive beliefs about healing can lead to real physiological changes, and conversely, how the nocebo effect shows how negative beliefs and fear can contribute to illness and disease, all of which ultimately comes down to how our thoughts and perceptions significantly influences our genetic expression and therefore overall health. So what does this all mean for consciousness, healing, and the future? If identity exists as an energetic broadcast, this opens the door to new possibilities for healing and transformation. If we change our thoughts and beliefs, we may be able to shift our energetic signature and improve our health. If consciousness is not just inside our brain, then who we really are, may extend far beyond what we can see. Dr. Bruce Lipton's work invites us to rethink who we are, not just as physical beings, but as energy, as consciousness, as part of a vast interconnected field. Whether we look at self-receptors, quantum communication, or mind-body interactions, the evidence suggests that our thoughts, emotions, and beliefs shape reality in ways we are only just beginning to understand. Now, I've been very intrigued in how all of this energy works for years. And so I went and did some deeper exploration into this hidden science of energy, consciousness, and human potential. What came out of this was a course I produced, which you can access inside of the Mind Scholars membership, called the Manifestation MBA. It delves into the science of energy, our emotions, right down to the cellular level and beyond, looking at the properties of infrasound and the transmission of energy around the globe, which includes much of Nikola Tesla's work. It explores a whole other dimension, including resonance, harmonic patterns, and the law of cycles, sympathetic vibratory physics, and the magic of the standing wave. It basically brings the whole law of attraction to life and bridges the gap between the physical and the non-physical in a way that will wow you. It will give you a whole other way of looking at who we really are. There's no level of assumed knowledge needed here. I step you right through it all in detail as we begin to connect the dots through some of life's greatest mysteries. So if you want to blow your mind and discover a whole other dimension to our life and being, you can access this through Mind Scholars over at themindmanual.com/join. Thank you for listening. Stay curious, keep exploring, and remember remember, you are far more than just your physical body. See you soon.